Either it was the most elaborate hoax ever, or Vinegar Syndrome is mad as a wet hen right now over
Oh yeah.
this artist, Edward Kinsella, who does this commissioned art. Like, he's in it for the money. I have no problem with that at all. Make you money, pal. Solid artist. He's done some shit for Criterion before. I think he's done Vinegar Syndrome stuff as well. But on his website, and this was up briefly, but it was up long enough for archive.org to archive the fucking thing. There's a link that goes to this artwork that he did for Michael Mann's The Keep, the Blu-ray, as well as the VHS tape. And that's gigantic because, I mean, I don't give a fuck about the movie. I don't really know anything about the damn movie, but it's never been out. It's one of the most requested titles that has yet to been officially on, never been officially on DVD even. This is undoubtedly the biggest get the entire year for Vinegar Syndrome. I don't think that there's any denying that. And this guy let the cat out of the bag, right? So you know that they have to be fucking insanely pissed off. Like, could you imagine, like, this is your big, this is going to be the star of Black Friday for Vinegar Syndrome, right? And this guy, so he put it up. Not only, he didn't say on the actual page what the art was, what company or anything, but if you look at the archive link, the link itself is Michael-Mann's-The Keep-Blu-ray-cover art-Vinegar Syndrome.
That's a fucking killer. I love it when people do stuff like this. The mayor was on here saying, and like one of the guys that we know from our own Discord, Phantasmat, was asking the guy about who was putting it out after I guess he saw that or something. And then that he's been blocking everybody, I guess, that's been asking any kind of questions like that. He blocked him as well, the artist did.
Right.
You know, if I was Vinegar Syndrome, I'd just get ahead of this story and just be like, hey, we're fucking releasing The Keep. You know, it's going to be like one of our huge titles.
They might as well.
Yeah. I hate when companies, like when something like that happens, the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is act like it didn't happen because it's already done. Like, just try to make the most out of it.
I'm sure by the end of the month, the official announcement will come because they're going to announce that for that Black Friday flash pre-sale, which is coming at the end of September for sure.
Can I ask a question real quickly? I mean, about this whole idea of what they do, what all these companies do. What is the real benefit of having all these titles be a surprise?
You know, you got a point there, man, because, and we don't want to get into details on what's going on with Trick or Treat, but Felcher announced Trick or Treat like, what has it been, a year and a half ago at this point?
Yeah.
And we had him on that stream back in July. That was the most attended stream that we have ever done by far. People are hyped more than ever for this. I don't know when it's coming out. Odds are it doesn't look like it's coming out for Halloween. But I don't think it matters, man, because people are so hyped. We had over 500 fucking people.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, this was not a multi-stream. We weren't on any other YouTube pages. I told Felcher after the show, I was like, dude, like, this shit is going to sell out. Whenever you put it up, it's going to sell out. It's going to sell out quick. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be for Halloween. But I think when you let the title linger for a while, like, I mean, people get pissed off, but Second Sight did the same thing with The Hitcher, man. And that's going to be their biggest selling release of all time. Guaranteed it.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But that's at this point for Vinegar Syndrome, to me, though, especially, and Arrow and all these bigger companies like that, like, none of that stuff sells out. It just doesn't anymore because they've bumped the numbers of it up. Like, none of it. So what's the point of, like, having it be a surprise? I thought that maybe the point of having it be a surprise originally would be so people could just get on there nobody would know what it was, and everybody would have like a chance to get on there and like, buy it before it sold out. But at this point, like, who gives a fuck? Like, I feel like people that are going to buy it are going to buy it anyway. Like,
it's weird because like whenever a studio like Eureka announced that, what was it? The Cynthia Rothrock movies.
oh
Which
yeah,
one was it?
yeah,
I don't even know.
the China O'Brien 1 and 2s.
Vinegar Syndrome was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're working on it too. So when this came out, the best thing they could have done was, even if you don't have the finished final art ready, show the one sheet poster and say, big news, Michael Mann's The Keep is coming on 4K, and it's going to be one of our November titles. Booyaka Booyaka 606, people will start talking.
They do that sometimes, like with some titles, they're like, hey, we're coming out with this, like, in whatever month. Like, they usually tell you one title they're coming out with in each month. And I'm just confused. Like, what's the big fucking deal? I don't understand that at this point. Like, why everything is a surprise now. Like, every month they got a company's got to be like, look here, surprise, motherfucker.
One thing, if you can keep a surprise, but like, Dawn of the Dead spoils Arrow's releases every fucking month, like usually the day before or something like that.
Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome can keep the surprises most of the time, but this case, they didn't. They should have just fucking went all out with it. Whenever they saw that, like, oh, it's out. Let's go ahead and, say, hey, here it is.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this too. This is just the truth to me. The downfall of Vinegar Syndrome is going to be the amount of titles they release, because there's no way that on a monthly basis they can keep up with that. It's not going to happen.
Like, well, they can, but they're releasing shit.
Yeah.
Like,
if they do, then the shit they're releasing is just going to be god awful, like it has been for the last 6 or 7 months.
Yeah. And the mayor's asking which cut of The Keep are they releasing. So the big thing was Michael Mann had a director's cut that he preferred. I mean, we'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know what it's a Paramount movie, so I don't know how uppity they are about the different cuts of the movies. I would say for sure the theatrical cut, more than likely. But I mean, who knows? I'd like to tell people, thumbs up the video, Uncle Bill.
Would you?
Yes. Thumbs it up with violence and fury, and just love everything about it.
You hit the heart button, then you hit the ass button, then you hit the go fuck yourself button. Follow that up with the I don't give a shit button.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last Out on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. Do you know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
We have a literal jukebox full of songs and thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So deadpitonpatreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us money.